For the Unit 8 quiz practice, the first two problems are just very simple Pythagorean theorem. Can you solve Pythagorean theorem? So here we've got A, B, and we're finding C. So 7 squared plus 10 squared equals x squared. So that would be 49 and 100. If I add, we get 149. And the opposite of squaring something is to square root it. And because it says round to the nearest decimal, we can go ahead and plug this into a calculator and get 12.206. So x would be 12.2. We really should put units on that. For number 2, we're given A, we don't know B, and 27 is C. So I would have 16 squared plus x squared equals 27 squared. I would need to go ahead and subtract the 256 from 729, and that gives me 473. I take the square root of both sides, and we get the decimal, 21.74. But rounding to the nearest tenth makes the 7 stay the same, so 21.7. For number 3, the diagram shows how an electric pole was broken. What was the original height of this electric pole? Round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So for this one, from the ground, from the original electric pole to where it broke off is 5 feet. That's your A. The height that remains standing is your B. And you're finding C, the part that broke. So 5 squared plus 8 squared equals C squared. If I combine, we get 89. And the square root of that is 9.4. Now, step 2 was add that to the original height of the pole. So 8 feet plus the 9.4 that broke equals a total of 17.4 feet. And we definitely have to have a label here just because it was given to us in our problem. For 4 through 7, the side lengths of a triangle are given. Determine whether it is right, acute, obtuse, or not a triangle at all. So for this, we do need to follow the first step of adding the smallest two sides together first. So we have the smallest is A, B, and the largest is C. If I add 3 and 16, is that larger than 17? And it is. So that means I can go ahead and do C squared and then A squared plus B squared. And I need to determine, is it equal, greater, or less? So 17 squared, 3 squared, and 16 squared. So 289, 9, and 256. So in this case, 289 would be greater than 265. If it's greater, that means it is obtuse triangle. Okay, and number 5, I would I would go ahead and label A, B, and C. So A being the smallest, C being the largest. If I add 24 and 29, I get 53. And 53 is larger than 34. Okay, so that means that we can go ahead and work out what type of triangle it is. So we do C first, and then the sum of A squared and b squared. Okay, if I add those together, I get 1,417. So obviously that would be less than the 1417, which means it is acute. In number 6, label A, B, and C. Add my 3 and my 15, and that gives me 18. Well, 18 is not larger than 18. So this is not a triangle. So I do not need to work out the rest. And then lastly, in number 7, again, we're going to label ABC. 21 and 28 make 49. And 49 is greater than 35. So yes, it's a triangle. So now let's do C squared. And then the sum of A and B squared. So 441 and 784. So to continue, we would have 1225. We would add our 2 here, and we'd also get 1225, which is equal, which makes it a right triangle.